Hi everyone, this is User1. It's not secret to a lot of you that I spent, some may even say wasted, too much time playing a variety of roleplay servers. In fact, I've been roleplaying for over a decade now. It is one of those things that I'm genuinely passionate about, making characters, developing your own stories with them, but one thing that has always driven me most to roleplay games was the supposed freedom that came with playing however you want. Most games have a scripted set of events, and eventually, the challenge in the video games boils down to three distinct types. Go through a scripted storyline that may or may not have a few fake choices, which are really two or maybe three scripted events that lead to similar, if not the same outcome. Strategize and adapt to a set of randomized but limited events, such as Minecraft with its randomly generated worlds, from a limited pool of biomes, which once you've seen one of them, you've pretty much seen all of them. And then you have multiplayer games, where involving other people in the equation definitely creates an environment of challenge, as people are never predictable. But even then, in most cases, you're playing within boundaries of your game and can only do things which have been scripted into the game and nothing else. On the other hand, you have hardcore roleplay servers, which, aside from the scripted things that your characters can do on any other game, such as walk around, maybe get in and operate vehicles, use firearms, you can also open the chat box, type a command /me, followed by describing what action your character does in third person, which on paper means that anything you could conceivably do in real life is possible to do in this game. I found Los Santos Roleplay to be one of the oldest and most established hardcore roleplay servers out there, meaning it, unfortunately, doesn't get much better. Where am I going with this? I've made hundreds of videos on Los Santos Roleplay over the past 5 years I've been on the server. A lot of people have reached out to me over the years and have told me that it was me that motivated them to join and go through the rigorous application process which LSRP has. Well, at first that made me feel happy, as if I was having an impact. Lately I've started doubting whether I was doing a good thing. Partly because not all of my videos prioritize showing good roleplay, but rather entertainment, something that I have no choice but to prioritize, as this channel is, after all, an entertainment channel. However, I don't want to hold all of the blame for why I feel horrid when I hear that some people join LSRP because of me at this point. To put it short, not all of my experience on LSRP was pleasant. And that's to be expected in a roleplay game. But you see, I don't get any frustration over my characters losing all of their property for in-character reasons. That happened several times over, and it doesn't bother me. What bothers me is when Los Santos Roleplay creates out-of-character issues that I have to worry about on top of it all. Issues that I have no way to predict, issues I have no control over, issues that I see happening to other people in the community, not only in Los Santos Roleplay. Some of those issues I've experienced was being punished and accused of rule breaking when no such rule breaking took place, and everyone knows that there's sufficient evidence to suggest that I was innocent. Yet I still remain punished, not because I broke any rules, but because I didn't represent the server well enough, or because someone got annoyed. While they do have the right to do that, as it is a private community, it's not fair by a long shot. There's a big difference between what's written down in the in-game rules section, aka don't power game, don't metagame, and what's actually being enforced by the administration. When whether or not you are punished for something depends on the administrator reviewing your case, there's a problem. When there's a discrepancy between how administrators are handling their case, there's a problem. When LSPD seems to be held more accountable than the administration team, there's a problem. I think it's about time I did something to address these issues. So as of today, I'm announcing a union, a roleplay union, an RPU. What's this about? Well, it's a completely original idea. No one has ever created a union in Los Santos Roleplay before. Our mission is to establish a better line of communication between administration and the players, to point out in how inconsistent some rule enforcement is in comparison to what it's meant to be happening according to the in-game rules section thread. Our mission is not to disrupt Los Santos Roleplay, not to cause any problems for Los Santos Roleplay, not to overthrow or do any other bullshit to Los Santos Roleplay. I know for a fact that some people will do that and accuse Roleplay Union for it, and I can assure you that they are posers. If I get a group of people to attack Red County Roleplay, then get them to scream Los Santos Roleplay is better, Los Santos Roleplay isn't responsible for that. For this reason, don't blame me if some trolls are going to be there regardless of how strict rules are, because guess what? They don't follow the rules. Stop breaking stuff on LSRP and accuse Roleplay Union of it. No, that's not the intention of the Roleplay Union. Bottom line is this: yes, LSRP administrators are free to moderate the server however they please. If they want to be just and ban people that actually break the rules when they can prove that they have broken said rules, then by all means. If they want to ban someone who hasn't broken any rules because they are annoying, or because they have a bad reputation, or just because they dislike them or disagree with their point of view, then by all means, you can do that too. After all, this is your server. But keep in mind that other people also have power. That power isn't revolution. That power isn't in violence, but it's in their ability to choose what they spend their free time on. When LSRP is inconsistent in its rules and rule enforcement, and when rules appear to be enforced selectively based on who's doing it and who are they being enforced against, people see that. People judge LSRP administrators based not only by how they act, but also by how the management responds to their actions. And if people see injustice, and there happens to be, I don't know, an alternative, something better for them to do with their time, like a better roleplay server, then they will leave LSRP, because they will consider LSRP a waste of time. This applies to any game, any community out there. If your community rules are being enforced selectively, and there just happens to be an alternative to said community that doesn't do that, people will start leaving your community and going to the alternative. That's something you should keep in mind when you write off an annoying player or a player you disagree with a ban or a kick, not caring about whether or not they actually broke any rules. From the player's perspective, it looks like you are treating them like shit. And in this case, the player's perspective is correct. Let me spell it out to you. I'm not trying to make your life harder. LSRP is clearly a passion of a lot of people, and I don't want to change that. What I want to change is how an average player is being treated. I want to create a more open environment, not just on LSRP, but in the roleplay community in general. I will warn you now that from day one on YouTube, I knew that I'd have to deal with people out to destroy whatever I tried to build. And this is no exception. This is probably going to be the hardest attempt, and at the worst time possible for me, which is why I need you guys to be patient. I am inexperienced. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know what I want. A more open community around role-playing. A community that doesn't rely on reputation, doesn't rely on arbitrary selectively enforced rules, doesn't rely on elitism and on other stuff, but a community which lets any new players in with open arms. A community that lets people who mess up redeem themselves and forgive their shortcomings. Because after all, we are all people who make mistakes. A community that in the end will have a better reputation than what LSRP has right now. Because right now, a lot of people despise LSRP, and I don't blame them. Link to the Roleplay Union Discord channel will be in the description. When you join, you'll be able to select which community you're from, and then you'll be able to copy and paste the format, as you can see right here, into request verification. There you just type your character's main name, then you go on that character in the community and you do /stats, and then you just press the print screen button, or you can take a screenshot, but print screen is easier, so then you just paste that into the thread and and a moderator will eventually verify you so that you can go into suggestions, post your suggestion, and there you go. Top suggestions will be described and talked about on the talk show every Saturday at 3 p.m. UTC. If you want to know what that is, just type it in Google, 3 p.m. UTC, and you'll see what time it is for you. There you go. Finally, before I go, I did a poll to ask whether you want me to make more LSRP content or other kind of content. I figured it didn't have enough traction, so what I'll do instead is I'm going to redo the poll, and because I'm going to mention it in the video, it's for real, and it might even decide what's the next upload going to be next Friday. So even if you're on a smartphone, you should be able to tap the I in the corner of the screen and vote on the next video. This will tell me what you would like to see in the future. I also wrote a 6,000 word script about my frustrations with Los Santos Roleplay. I don't know if I want to publish it. Let me know if you want to see that video published. I was rambling long enough. Good night and stay listening.